Hello, folks. Officer Tony here. And today, it's some more boring crap about pickups. Enjoy.
Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com. Last week, we took a look at the Epiphone ProBucker pickups. And I started thinking okay, my favorite pickup historically has been the Pearly Gates, the Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates. So what would happen if I did a shootout between the Pearly Gates and the ProBucker in this exact guitar? If I played the exact same guitar parts, like a couple of different sounds, and then compared them. Well, I already have a recording of this guitar doing 3 different parts with the Pearly Gates. So all that remains is to play those same parts with the ProBuckers and see what it sounds like. So let's do that. Okay, a couple of quick things about this. Thing number one, part of the reason these two pickups sound so similar is they are built in a very similar fashion. They are both using Alnico 2 pickups. They have a similar output, although the ProBucker has a slightly higher output. But, considering they're using the same magnets and a similar wire, it would kind of make sense that they would sound kind of the same. They're both attempts at sort of a vintage PAF Gibson humbucker. They both sound great. If you look at these two charts, it's kind of interesting. The top chart, the top graph, is the Pearly Gates, and the bottom one is the ProBucker. One of the things that you will notice is that there's a little bit more low end and a little bit more high end in the ProBucker. And I thought that was interesting. They're very similar in terms of their frequency response, but there are definitely some differences in the mid-range. If you put headphones on, you can probably hear a little bit of difference, but pound for pound, I think that when you take two pickups that are both using Alnico 2 magnets, similar wire, similar output, both well made, and you run them and you put them in the same guitar and you play them through the same amp, or in this case amp simulator, it shouldn't really be a huge surprise that they sound very similar. And they do sound very similar. I was actually surprised. I thought that there would be a bigger difference between these two pickups, but there's really not that much difference. Now, of course, I only showed like 3 different sounds here. I only played this through an HX Stomp. If you were to play these pickups through a real tube amp, you might be able to hear some of the more subtle differences. But the point, I think, of this experiment was to compare these 2 pickups, and from where I'm sitting, they sound very, very, very similar. And I think that's a really good thing, because the Pearly Gates is my favorite pickup. So it shouldn't be any surprise to me that I like these ProBuckers now that I gave them a second chance, because they do sound very similar to the Pearly Gates. Short video today, I know, but you know, I was thinking about the ProBuckers, and I knew I had that old recorded stuff, and I just wanted to hear the difference. So now I've heard the difference, and now you've heard the difference. Which one did you think sounded better? I mean, they both sounded good, right? Which one did you prefer? And also, if you prefer the ProBucker, is it because you own the ProBucker? Does anybody else out there own the ProBucker and the Pearly Gates? Because to me, I own both. Which one sounds better? I don't have to choose. I'm going to leave the ProBuckers in this guy, and I've got Pearly Gates in my blue PRS. And then up there on the wall, in a future video, I've got the Shawbucker 1. I'm going to shoot that out against this stuff too. Lately, I'm on a pickup kick. I just want to see which pickup is the best. And of course, none of them is the best. It just depends on what sound you want and what pickup you already own. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this mildly amusing. If you did, please consider subscribing, because that number means something. It's important. And I will see you again next Friday at 5.